That clock is well, by the way. Oops, no.
Melinda, do you want me to transcribe it?
Sure.
Yes, you should get out that.
I'll look at
Oh,
it.
I will. Whenever you're ready, Bob, we're all set.
All right, good morning, everybody. Our first item on the agenda is to review the minutes of last meeting. And if you're satisfied, we'll need a motion. What?
First time I saw ED used for executive director. So I was wondering who Ed Dillon was. I make a motion to accept the minutes.
Second,
I'll second.
okay, any changes or amendments? Hearing no comments, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, opposed? Minutes are accepted. All right, next for discussion is the annual report. Tragedy with the paper towels. So, Judith, you want to talk about the annual report?
Sure. So this is a draft annual report for your review. Bob had made a comment regarding the number of hearings that were held. And as a result of that, I double checked with Melinda and found he thought that there were more hearings held. There were actually less hearings held. There were three matters heard, Walmsley, Draper, and UVM, for a total of 5 hearing days.
Lake was a hearing day, but it got settled after. We were on the, got interrupted by the snowstorm and power outages.
Oh, so it did start to go. Okay.
Yeah.
So what we have is correct. So it's four
6.
matters, 6 days. So that needs to be changed in the, so that's what we had. We had 4 matters, 6 days. Okay. Good to
All right, so
review the circle.
Michelle, you didn't get to sit on a hearing this past year?
Feel like I did not. No, I can't be certain, but
For
Yeah,
punishment
so
on the assignments
I
coming
feel
up.
like they keep getting settled, which is a good thing.
it's a good thing.
Yeah, right.
A couple of things to note. One thing that, I endeavored to do and did, there were a number of cases that were closed and decisions decided. Last year, there were, 6 decisions, 6 published decisions. This year, we have 21 published decisions. And we resolved 68 cases. That includes all of your good work and deliberating and deciding cases, as well as election orders of certification, as well as settlements of cases. So that, I think, is a good thing that took place last year. More cases were settled last year. We had less hearings, I should say, last year. So that's and that's a product, I would think, of the parties reaching agreement, reaching settlement. A number of the unfair labor practices are beginning to settle, which is interesting. So you can, go through it, provide comments, recommendations. We can do that now or by email, or how you want to do it, Bob.
You would like us to comment on what the things you wrote about these?
Well, this, you all sign this. We all
Right.
sign it. So
No, I
I want to make
understand
sure
that.
everyone's comfortable with what's written. So
Okay,
similar
Got
to, a board decision, if I got something, if there's additional information you want provided,
Mhm.
or if you note an error, there's strength in numbers.
Yeah.
So,
So are there any comments from the board about the report? Have people had a chance to review it since you received it last night? Otherwise, I'm going to say that we'll take a week for everybody to review it and provide any comments to Judith. And then Judith can get back to us with if she needs a board consensus by email. Does that work for the board? Okay.
and Bob, perhaps we didn't do this in the beginning, but you might want to note who's here.
Present are myself as chair, Bob Greenmore. To my left is Michelle Phelps. Across from me, we have Roger Donegan, Alan Willard, and David Belanger. I note that our executive director, Judith Dillon, is here, and our board clerk, Melinda Moss Knight, is here.
And one of our board members, Karen Sadek, is not here today.
Yeah, we have one absence. Okay. Judith, did that work for you if we get back to
Yeah,
you in a
that'd be
week?
great.
Okay.
And if there's, something that warrants further conversation, we can decide how to proceed from there.
Right. All right, governor's budget recommendation.
Okay, recall the last time we met, I provided the board with 3 proposals for consideration for our budget. One was the governor's recommended 3% increase. One was a status quo, maintaining our current operating budget. And finally, the third was requesting a part-time labor relations specialist to assist with conducting investigatory conferences for unfair labor practices, and also help in developing our case management system, and also in updating the website and other roles and tasks that either I or Melinda do in helping to offset some of our workload. So the board approved submitting those 3 proposals to the administration, finance and administration, which I did. The response I received from finance and administration was they would approve a 6.7% increase, which reflects what our status quo budget would have been if our clerk position remained at 24 hours. Several months ago, Melinda asked to go down to 20 hours. That may be a temporary measure. So keeping it at 24, having sufficient funds beginning in 26 for a 24-hour clerk position makes sense and allows that flexibility. So the governor's recommended budget from the general fund is $351,717. So that's what the governor is recommending. One thing to be aware of is that after we submitted our budget to finance and administration, Keisha Ram reached out through legislative counsel to us, asking us what are our, do we have any financial requests or concerns? I had previously testified before an agriculture committee, and I'm getting the title wrong, during which I talked about the work of the board. They were asking questions relative to whether they should adopt removing the exclusion for farm workers to join a collective bargaining agreement. And during the context of that conversation, they asked about workload and do you have enough staff? And I was honest. And so I suggested it'd be great if we can get at least one more part-time person, or at least one additional 20-hour person. So she followed up on that. I forwarded to her our proposal for that position. So the administration has approved less than that. and I don't know what happens if the legislature wants to give us more money, but I just wanted to make you aware of that.
We accept it.
I think we would accept it. But, you know, we're kind of, the marching orders from finance and administration, the executive branch is 351,717. What I provided to Keisha Ram was what our budget would have been with the additional 20-hour labor relations specialist position. So when I go before the legislature, they might ask about the two different requests. So, and
I believe it's always okay to, when you testify, if they ask you questions about our budget preparation and needs, you can highlight that. They may go with the governor's recommendation. They may do something different. But we are a part of the executive branch, but we are an independent part of it. So I think I've always felt it, full disclosure on what the needs are and everything to the legislature, just be straightforward with them. And that's the best policy.
Yep. So so that's the budget. It as it relates to the fiscal year 26 budget. So
You don't see any other challenges through the governor's recommend?
I don't. It doesn't give us enough funds to hire someone, you know, to have another 0.5 FTE position with benefits and all that. But it provides it provides us with enough funds going forward to have, you know, my in-state travel is increasing because more elections are taking place in person versus by mail ballot. Now that, you know, we're coming out of COVID, a lot of unions want to have the election in person. It also allows for, you know, us, the board members coming in person and your travel expenses, as well as attending the one conference a year, making it able for our board members to attend the one conference a year. And there may be a little bit of cushion to allow us to hire someone on an hourly basis to assist with the case management system. So it's not quite what we asked for, but it gives us a little bit of wiggle room. So I don't think we're going to be, I don't anticipate having any deficiencies in fiscal year 26 based upon our current operation. So
how many pending elections do we have?
We don't have any pending elections. We have two 50% card check elections that have been filed. So we don't have any current pending elections, but it's
because we had a big increase in union activity
exactly
last year.
Exactly. And we had one large election where we had a 3 days, 3-day hearing, 2-day election. Yeah. So that was a lot. And, you know, all of our board members participated in the election, which was great. So I don't see anything, but I did receive a call from a union asking about our process for filing petitions where there's an existing union and it's a correctional union. So there may be in August, we may receive a filing related to the Department of Corrections. That I don't know, but I received a call. So if that were to occur, that would be a large election in the fall. So
Okay, any questions on the budget or?
Well, I'm just curious, Judith, I think you said that, Melinda wanted to go down to 20 years. But
20 hours.
20,
That's all you got.
She would like to be,
seemed like
she would like to be 20 again, but.
As would we all.
But the state didn't want that or allow
No,
it?
no, no. She is working 20 hours, but when they were calculating the increase, the 3% increase or our status quo 4% increase, they based it on the 24 hours versus 20 hours.
Oh.
Because there were, for most of the year, it was 24 hours. So even though we were, full disclosure, it was approved on all of, it's not, so, but again, it allows for the ability for it to go back to 24 hours.
Okay, any other questions?
Karen, all done?
Pardon me?
Karen has resigned from the board.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that a bit later, but yes,
Yeah, I didn't have a budget question.
yeah. Okay. Any word when you're gonna be required to head up there?
No, I don't have notice yet. Yeah, so I think it'll likely be end of January, which we're actually at end of January, February. I'd imagine it'd be sometime in February.
Okay.
And
All right, the next item on the agenda is, I presume you mean the upcoming ALRA conference in Montreal.
yes, so the ALRA conference is scheduled for July 19th through the 23rd, ending on the 23rd. And it's in Montreal at the Omni. And I'm part of the committee organizing CLEs, and it's going to be a good conference. There's going to be issues of artificial intelligence, which is, what we're seeing more and more of, electronic filing, current issues, changes in, I know the folks who work for the National Labor Relations Board and federal mediation projects. There may be some changes happening. How does that change impact? Does it trickle down to state issues, or even when dealing with federal matters, issues that are taking place? So it's right up in Montreal. Omni is a great hotel. It promises to be a great opportunity to exchange information on current trends and events and cases. And we will be talking about novel, like new cases that are taking place. We'll be talking about graduate assistants, resident assistants, sports teams that are, forming collective bargaining agreements, other new and novel trends that are taking place. So we'll be getting in the next month or two registration information so we can figure out, who wants to attend. But I'm just curious if folks have thought about it. I think it'd be a great event. So
As long as we don't get COVID.
yeah. So that's good. But I'd love to have you. You're putting in your time. I think you want to come. That'll be great.
I'm probably the only one here that was in Montreal the last time on. So it was quite a few years ago. And I do remember when in Montreal. I probably don't think it would be really, productive for the state to send me to.
Yep.
Board members that are interested? Okay, so I see everybody's interested. All right.
Yeah, and I think, with the travel would be significantly less, the travel costs would be significantly less. So, and they're usually, conference rates, and it's Canadian dollars. So I think hopefully it'll be,
Right. And,
fairly affordable.
and if we have 2 new board members by then,
Mhm.
probably would be nice to introduce them to the world of.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's a good exposure. Fingers crossed.
What do you mean if?
Fingers crossed.
Did you go to Detroit last year?
I did.
You did.
Did you find it useful?
I did. No,
Okay.
on several avenues, counts, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought they did a great job in Detroit, and Detroit was a great town, great city to do. Okay, well, stay tuned. I'll forward to you when we receive the registration information. Either I or Melinda will forward it to you.
Okay, now, on, when you said the 19th to the 23rd, does that also include the Advocates Day or whatever that?
Yep, that's
first day?
everything.
Okay,
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
all right.
'Cause
I found that day pretty interesting the last time I went.
Yeah. Bless you. Bless you. So I have the description of cases pending. The description is the longer form, and then a cheat sheet that I submitted in your packet this morning. And so going through the open cases, there are 30 cases pending. We have 2 petitions, and those are both hard check petitions. So as you might have noticed, if you looked at the annual report, we're receiving in July, the new legislation allowing for card check elections to take place went through, and we've received a number of petitions since July 1 on card check for card check elections. And all of them have been municipalities. And it's been a fairly, 7 of them were filed. It's been a fairly efficient process. It requires the employer to quickly review the composition of the proposed unit to determine that all of the names and positions listed are actually the names and positions currently employed by the employer. So that's the one, a couple of municipalities, sometimes it's hard for them to react quickly because they're municipalities and, they may be run by a select board or they don't have legal counsel on speed dial. So making sure they understand the process, there's been a growth, a bit of a learning curve, but 7 petitions were filed
How long do they have to review the proposed unit?
It's 7 business days. So if they have an objection to, we've got 3, they have to file their objection within 7 business
Does
days.
that put the thing on hold until those positions are adjudicated or?
If they challenge it and there's a hearing, the board doesn't certify until the unit determination is made. Once the unit determination is made, then they would be certified with that unit. But that's the only objection an employer can make to a card check a petition. Whereas with the election, there's the only opportunity for objection is the unit determination process, but there's still an election. So individuals still have an opportunity to vote yay or nay to this particular union becoming the exclusive bargaining representative for the unit. Whereas the card check is if 50% plus more of the proposed unit sign that they want Union X to be the exclusive bargaining representative, and there's no unit challenge, the board certifies them. Yep. So it does allow for a more expeditious process, but recall 3 years ago, I guess 4 years ago now, the legislature revamped its the statutes to make it faster. So now it's even faster.
Faster.
So, yeah.
Is the thinking that there will be objections filed sort of preemptively just in case?
I'm seeing that in one. I am where there's advice involved. I'm seeing that it's maybe a placeholder and then they
That's
resolve it. I saw it in one where there was an initial objection and then the parties resolved it. There's currently, you'll see, there's currently in one of the matters just filed, one of the two elections, the employer has challenged the unit, asserting that they're supervisory and confidential employees. So if the parties can't resolve it, the board's going to have to resolve it. But yeah, so that it allows for an opportunity to ensure that all of the folks listed should be in the unit.
So the Charlotte, the recent Charlotte Library
Yeah.
instance comes to mind.
Yep.
That took a fair bit of deliberation and
Yep.
study,
Yep.
et cetera, to resolve. It doesn't seem to me that we could have been as expeditious in that matter as the law this 7-day, this timeline
Yeah,
requires. Is there a provision to extend by mutual agreement or?
the statute does have that the prior statute has that you can extend by mutual agreement the hearing on unit determination. And that's what happened with the Charlotte matter.
Okay,
The same thing can happen here because, and that may happen in one of the two cases if they don't resolve it. So the two cases actually started as one case and it was filed and there were there were a number of employees that they claimed that were actually employed by a separate utility district.
Okay.
And so now, instead of one election filed, we have two. One is for the town and the other is for the utility district.
yes.
So, and now within those two, the town has objected and I haven't received a response yet on the other. So,
Okay.
but I wanted to go through a couple of the matters on the status of cases where I highlight where we need hearing dates. And maybe, I'm sorry, maybe I'll do that when we're scheduling hearings. I'll do that when we're scheduling hearings. Okay, sorry about that. So unfair labor practices, we have 12 pending. We have 5 where the parties, we have a number where the parties are attempting settlement. I think I alluded to that earlier. We have 1 motion to dismiss where the board will need to decide. Drafting 2 decisions. In 2 cases, the parties have filed stipulation of facts and the board will need to determine whether you need a hearing or if you can decide it on the stipulation of facts. And we have a hearing that's scheduled for March 13th. Grievances, we have 15 grievances pending. We have 3 new grievances that were filed at the end of the year and the beginning of this year. We have 2 matters where there's a motion to dismiss where the board needs to deliberate on those. We have 2 matters where we have 2 matters where there are pro se litigants, and I'll have a scheduling conference to develop a schedule, but we'll also need to schedule a hearing. So we'll need to be mindful of that when we're doing the board schedule. Drafting board decisions on grievances, that's my work to do. And we have 1 where a hearing's been held and we had scheduled a deliberation for after this board meeting. Unit clarification, there's 1 pending matter and that's in discovery. And just as a reminder, we have 3 cases now pending on appeal. 1 is the UVM election case. 1 is the grievance of Stone, which is a termination decision. And 1 is the Giglio decision, which the grievant is appealing the board's denial of their motion to reconsider. So
I remember that case.
Yes, you do.
yeah, and I believe he's still pro se on the appeal.
Stone's kind of surprising.
Yeah. In light of the Supreme Court's decision in Roos,
Yes.
which just came out. And so that's a recent, an affirmance of the board's decision in Roos. The Supreme Court affirmed your decision to uphold the termination decision. So, and yeah,
Bruce was exactly where I was going.
Yep.
I assume the timing is such that Stone's appeal came before the Supreme Court's Roos decision.
it was close in time.
Oh.
Yeah. 12/19. I'm just looking at it quickly. It was the day before.
Oh.
Yeah.
So it
Notice of appeal was the day
likely
before.
may not have been
Yeah. It-
affected.
Yeah.
I would assume the preparation for the Stone appeal was
Yeah. Well, to
down
actually,
the road before Roos
Yeah.
came.
they might have
came to-
decided to file a notice of
Filing,
appeal
yeah.
and then it came in and,
Yeah.
sometimes when folks file an appeal, they can withdraw it.
Yeah.
But he's entitled to file an appeal if he wants
Yes.
to. So that one is on appeal now. So those are the highlights.
Any questions on the case report?
We are meeting this afternoon on board.
We had scheduled to deliberate on a matter. Karen's not here, so
We have actually a couple of things that we need to talk about specifically about cases and the issues within them, which we'll do after we adjourn.
Mhm.
Okay,
One of those be the Vermont State Colleges and the 3 unions that we have.
that's, we can talk about scheduling when to deliberate those, yes. Because you, David and Michelle, I believe, are on those.
Yeah.
And I have the,
Paper copies.
the paper
Yeah.
copies of the
Yeah.
pleadings. So I'll hand them off to you and we can chat about when it makes sense to deliberate. And you can, if you want to deliberate this afternoon or after this meeting, you can, or, that's something we can talk about. But because this is recorded, we want to make sure that any deliberations are done in executive session, not recorded, because for confidentiality and deliberative process protections. Any questions, aside from specific issues about cases?
Oh, just one other flashing back to what we just talked about, what's on appeal. Gilio is still pro se.
He is still pro se.
He went to the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
Pro se.
okay, and
So, the cases that I've been assigned, you're comfortable, everybody's comfortable that I'm still legitimate because my term expired.
yes, the general rule of thumb is you are allowed to serve until your replacement is named. Appointed, I should say.
But you're not an indentured servant, so, I just want to stress
That's why I
that.
said you're entitled.
Yeah. Well, I'm happy to be able to help. So as long as it doesn't go on for more than
Yeah.
2 or 3 months.
And that's the next topic on the agenda to chat about. But
Yeah, well,
Yeah, so anything more on the case report? So Judith, it appears to me that we still have a couple of matters that need to be finished up from cases in 22.
correct. And there, if you look to the third page of the sheet,
Oh,
I've
okay.
had the years broken down. So there are 3 from 2022. No, I'm sorry, that should be 4. There's another. And 4 from 2022.
Where are you looking? What's it look like?
It looks, it's after, it has the years broken down.
That one, yep.
Yeah, that one right there.
Oh, okay. Thank
So-
you.
So that's, I'm sorry, there are three from 2022. There are 4 from 2023. And 2, 3,
Okay.
16 from 2024. No, 17, because there's a unit
Yeah.
clarification. 17 from 2024.
All right.
So those cases on 2022, they're all in various states of draft. So my goal is within the next month to get those all out. So, so that well, actually to get all of them, as well as, trying to get, the top 2 cases, Crowley and the reclassification out. Those are the ones that I'm currently drafting. So all of the 2022 cases and 2 of the 2023 cases I'm
Okay.
working on.
And have we issued the back pay order on Walmsley?
I noticed a typo yesterday, so that'll go out today. So yes, as I was,
Any other questions? All right, let's move on to board composition and recruitment.
the committee charged with selecting and recruiting 2 new neutrals. So the board needs 2 new neutrals. And as you know, you can't hold hearings without a neutral. You need a neutral. And the committee or board assigned to recruiting those folks sent me a proposed recruitment announcement, and they asked for my input, such as how much time is needed, or any qualities or characteristics or qualifications that may be needed. And I provided you all with that email, looking for your input as well. How, the amount of hours required, based upon your experience, what you think is needed to do the job, or that would be beneficial, anything that you think should be added to either the announcement or to inform the selection process when they, recruit people and interview people.
I would comment on that. Third paragraph, where she talks about amount of time position requires dedicated for regular attendance and preparation for board meetings. That, it's not that takes the time, it's the cases that take the time. That's not mentioned.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's, if she wants to amend that.
To say, because with cases, you could look on average about 40 hours a month.
Mhm.
'Cause
Mhm.
if you're looking at 8-hour days, if you're scheduled every week for a case.
I'm counting, when you include what you read at home. And
Oh, and then, yeah, that's, yeah, not even,
That's-
yeah.
And
And then
that's
the
what you
drive
should
time,
include.
yep.
Yeah, how much time does it take? Because you should definitely include all of that, because it's not, oh, you just show up and
Yep.
we go to a meeting once every 4 months and that's it.
You just mentioned drive time. It makes a difference if we're talking about somebody from Rockingham
Mhm.
or
Mhm.
Canaan
Yeah.
or somebody from Middlesex.
it's also relatively unpredictable and variable, because it could be periods of stretches of time, a couple of months where you don't do much of anything.
Mhm.
And then you get some complicated cases, and I could spend several hours at
Yeah.
home reading and trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
It's not X number per month
Yeah.
every month.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and you can't predict what cases are going to settle. You might be scheduled for 6 cases and all but 1 settles, or you're scheduled for 6 cases and none of them settle. And it's, so flexibility.
Yeah, flexibility is important.
I think technically they should say that there's 1 6-year term and 1 filling a term. The remainder of the term.
Okay,
That's
that's okay.
Karen's.
Yeah.
And I think hers is up in the 2027. I put it in the
June
annual
30,
report. 2027.
2027.
Okay, 27, okay.
Because that's how I started, was filling out Linda McIntyre's
Yeah,
term.
and I think Karen actually filled a term. That's
Yeah.
how she started. Other things, being,
Well, one point that struck me is as a selling point.
Yeah.
There's something ideal about being appointed to the board. The time is limited.
Mhm.
It's not unending meetings. You do have some control as to when you do your readings. So it's pretty manageable and you're participating. So
Mhm.
I think that's a really good selling point that maybe they might want to, emphasize.
And although,
Does the statute indicate any real qualifications?
No.
I didn't think so.
There's, it seems to me that if this were to say labor or management, both of those words sort of speak for themselves in terms of an implied or unstated definition in terms of background. I'm not so sure about neutral,
that's defined,
but I also can come up with
Yeah.
with a substitute.
Yeah.
Karen's background, for example, was pretty much HR,
Mhm.
but I don't know, Michelle, I don't know if, does that,
I would at least maybe put in the word some employee relations, but just because that's so broad, you could be a supervisor and have employee relations.
right, and well, I think about the word,
Experience.
just maybe employment, I don't know,
Yes.
employment, I don't know what's used, even,
Because you want some understanding of the workforce.
right,
So
I mean, HR is it's a new term that's not even new anymore.
Yeah.
It replaced personnel.
Yep.
I don't know what evokes that in the mind of somebody who reads something.
Yeah.
I don't either.
I'm frankly would just like to have somebody who is neither identified as management or identified as union, that has an interest in the area and wants to participate and help Vermonters solve some of these problems.
Workplace problem.
Well-
I'm big on having.
We should have, it maybe you have what we have in our annual report describing the work of the board. But, at this point in time, with the number of people that have applied for the last few vacancies, I just want to find somebody who's interested, that maybe walking down the street.
You mean the small number of people who have applied?
We have
Yeah.
had a very limited number of people
That's right.
apply for positions on the
Yeah.
board. And I'm hoping that the governor and the labor folks and everybody else is encouraging people to apply that have an interest in this area, and I'm hopeful.
Yeah.
And I know that the governor has said that he'd like to have more than one person to look at when he's making appointments. So I'm hoping that, his administration and other folks are looking at encouraging people to think about this as a place to
Yeah.
contribute to the citizens.
And as we talk about that, does anyone have recommendations on organizations, entities And, we should ensure that, they are not targeted, but informed of the announcement.
I
You
think people that in the communities that have demonstrated that they volunteered and served on boards and are able to get along with the diverse boards and different opinions, like select board, for example, who serves on the select board for 10 years. I mean, people that have demonstrated in the community, so I don't know if the select boards would be a good resource.
Can you send it out to town select boards? Can they?
Or even like front porch forums throughout the state,
Mhm.
the chambers of commerce.
Yeah.
Chambers of Commerce. I didn't know if there were professional organizations,
Yeah.
I know mine came through AGC. Which is the American General Contractors
Okay.
Association.
Oh, okay.
So that's how I was given the
Yeah.
information, and they're local.
Vermont League of Cities
Yeah,
and Towns.
the league, yeah.
That'd be a good one. I
Yep,
think.
there you go.
You just have to rely on
Leadership, there's this leadership Champlain.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah,
Is there an
There's,
analogy to that in other places in the state?
Green Mountain Human Resources Association, so that's
Okay.
GM, HRA, and then there's the Vermont HRA. So the Vermont Human Resources. So again, you're gonna get people with the employee relations,
Yep.
Yeah.
recruitment.
this is
but-
great. Yeah.
it's good if they have an interest, but I hope they don't have an agenda.
Yeah,
Well,
But that's what the job is.
Yeah, they'll
Yeah.
figure it out.
yes, the
But
committees.
we've had management employees appointed, we've had labor employees appointed, we've had neutrals appointed. But the one thing over the 10 or 12 years that I've been involved is everybody seems to rise to the idea of we're deliberation and we need to be fair and honest and just in looking at the cases. And I haven't seen any indication of real partisanship on any of the deliberations or things that I've participated in.
I think everybody in my 13 years has shown that they are neutral in their assessment of the case.
Yeah,
But they bring a different experience to them.
Yeah.
Which is helpful.
Exactly.
I,
And everybody in my past experience with the boards, everybody has approached it on a neutral and a
Yeah.
fair, just basis, I think. So
yeah, I,
I hear it, Alan use the word experience, and I think that's the background we're looking for, is experience in workplace dynamics.
I think it's
or-
helpful.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Well, getting back to Dave's original point about labor versus management, the word I heard, in these dealings is practitioner.
Mm.
So, maybe if there are people involved in labor things,
Mhm.
whether it be on a legal side or just helping the process along, a practitioner may pull in some people's interest, even though it'd be hard to define.
yeah, no, I would definitely, I had alerted the Vermont Bar Association that we were looking for it, and they've been waiting for the announcement so that they can post it and send it out to the different subgroups. So, perhaps an attorney who may not be aligned with management or labor or has done work for
Right.
both,
Mhm.
might want to come forward.
Yeah, there are others. Well, again, they're mostly my contemporaries, but somebody like Scott Cameron,
Mhm.
I recall, has represented
Yeah.
both sides.
Yeah.
Pietro
Yeah,
has
exactly.
represented both sides.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
And we have a current but former board member who worked both as a union person in state government and as a manager in state
yeah,
government.
right.
So
Yeah,
I
he's done
remember,
okay.
I remember when we interviewed him that I loved the fact that he had both sides of the coin in his
Helpful.
repertoire for a
I
neutral.
bet.
Yeah, so, okay, I'll send these comments. I like the idea of somehow defining, expanding what neutral means, because I don't think people reading this are gonna know what that means. And what's being, what folks are looking for.
A lot of people don't think of it as a noun.
Yeah.
What
Just to-
was the thinking about, no later, complete applications are due no later than February something? I mean, I'm happy to fill in and do this. I'll do it it would be good if somebody could get the message to them that my term expired at the end of June.
Yeah. And that might have been in the annual report.
Yeah. We can't hold hearings. We can't decide, you can't decide cases without a neutral. And, as we look to how to schedule this going forward, we're, compromised in what we can do. So-
Put me in, I'm willing to help as best I can, but I'd hate to see this go much more than 2 or 3 months longer.
Okay, so that's March.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, no, I'm being
Yeah.
a little more generous. It's
Okay.
April.
okay, well, all right, well, that's for,
It's
yeah,
sort of toward the end of April.
Put me in, and then if they get somebody in the interim, we can always
That's right.
fill me, let me go.
Release.
Your name, it'll be your name and your replacements.
well, we had that for like 9 months.
You did.
So thank you for your input, and I'll draft a response to the Commissioner of the Toronto Labor's Office. But there's another item, there are a couple of other items in this category that we need to chat about.
The one that I'm aware of is we need to have an election for a chair.
Bob's term, he was elected 2 years ago at our meeting in 2023. I'm getting
I
used to
can't
these
believe
years.
it's been 2
Yeah.
years.
Yeah,
Wow.
Well, we haven't seen enough of each
I
other.
know.
it's hard to grasp, but 2 years ago. So now it's time to elect a chair.
Just for your information, my term on the board ends in June 28. And I'm not planning on going again because I'll be 78
Older.
or 9 years old by then. And even though we can have presidents at 78 and 80 in their 80s, I think we need to go younger.
Well, without giving a long nominating speech, I'd like to nominate Mr. Greenmore as chair and continuing chair in light of his service and expertise over the last term or his current term.
Are you willing, Bob?
Yeah,
Just want to make sure.
I'll second.
okay. Any other nominations? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Right.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yes.
waiting for the balloons to drop.
Okay. So now we're moving on to our scheduling portion. And the reason I was fiddling with my phone was trying to get my calendar up.
Mhm. So just, we have hearings, we have, matters scheduled through March 20th. But
We'd also have some panels beyond that, right?
we have folks scheduled on them, but we don't have matters scheduled.
No, I understand that, but
But at the time when we scheduled this, one of our panel members hadn't, the panels after 20th include Karen and Alan's replacement. So, I think in appointing or assigning cases to panels, we need to be mindful of that we're on borrowed time
so,
for,
but we've
Alan.
got panels through,
May 8th. No, I'm sorry, through June 5th.
June 5th. And I think we would need to revisit those assignments when we do get new board members appointed and confirm whether those dates are convenient for those folks.
Okay. We'll likely be scheduling matters beyond June 5th now.
Yeah,
And Alan has indicated he's on through April.
right.
And I'm just feeling if we're
We
telling,
told him he was on for April.
yeah, he
was-
said March. I'm just, I just have a caution or concern that I will be sending out hearing schedules for parties saying your hearing is September 10th. And
And then we have to, I understand it. So I think we have two issues. One was we have the time frame from April to June 5th.
which we don't have cases to schedule then.
We don't have any cases that could be scheduled. I thought I saw you had about 3 cases that,
But they're looking from June forward.
oh, okay. All
Yeah.
right. I'm sorry. I
Yeah.
didn't catch that.
Before we consider new, is there a deliberation or a hearing on the 30th of this month? Or is that not happening?
Of January, we could use it to, did we schedule a deliberation? No.
No.
Yes.
We,
Oh,
on January 3rd, we could schedule January 3rd to hear,
30th.
30th.
January 30th to hear the Vermont State Colleges matter, or to hear there's another matter that 2 of the motions to dismiss matters. We could use that date.
Okay, but, so you're saying you want to keep the date, but you're not sure who the panel composition is?
I have that on my calendar.
I had it on my calendar too.
Oh,
So
January 34, well, maybe we scheduled one of the,
I don't have anything in it. I just had it blocked off for labor board,
okay,
which,
yeah, same
yeah.
with me.
and who else had it? So whoever you 3 are, keep it.
No,
and
no, but
well,
we
assign
can't.
something.
I know, I don't know how we both ended
Yeah,
up. on-
maybe at one point we were looking at that date for this hearing because we were.
Okay.
Because we were moving it around.
I'm looking at my paper copy of the 12/9 schedule.
Mhm.
And it says January 30 to be scheduled, Bob, Alan's replacement, and Roger.
Okay.
So
There's no hearing. At that time.
there is no hearing.
There's no hearing.
Okay, so what deliberations do we have pending then? We have Draper.
We have Draper. We have a motion. Okay, let me start from the beginning. We have Draper. We have. We just.
Are there
hold
pending?
on.
ULP from Richmond?
A motion to dismiss Tetro, that would be Bob, Alan, and Roger. That's a motion to dismiss. That's 2439. So we need a time to deliberate on that. Grievance of United Academics. That's another motion to dismiss that we need a panel for. and we need a date for, so that's 2. We have the NEPBA versus Town of Richmond, stipulation of facts and exhibits. We need a panel and a date.
And that's gonna be on briefs or basically on
Yeah,
their submissions.
but you need to, the first order of business is to determine whether you need oral argument or not, because that's currently, I think we actually have a hearing date for that.
That's February 13th.
Yeah, so if you don't need that hearing, we can take that off, but the first order of business is deciding whether you need a hearing, meaning you have questions based upon the stipulation. So I think that's one of the binders that we have printed out. If not, we'll print it out for you. But if you don't need oral argument, you can take the February 13th off, but you can use February 13th to deliberate. The next one that we have is, there is a motion to dismiss in 24-23. We need a panel and a deliberation date. We need,
What's the case?
that is United Steelworkers versus Town of Brattleboro. 24-23. That is an unfair labor practice asserting the town failed to bargain in good faith and may impose unilateral changes to the employees' working conditions.
Mhm.
We have a couple of panels that we need to determine whether to issue a complaint. In Town of AFSCME versus Town of Windsor, that's 24-34, and also in 24-41. No, I'm sorry, that's
Okay,
24-34.
So can any of those go on January 30?
Any of them can go on January 30th.
Okay, and
We can,
could, as you look at it, could we maybe do 2 on January 30?
I'm sure, use the morning, afternoon, absolutely. Or the same panel can do
And
more
the
than
same,
one.
and the same thing on the 13th?
Wait.
Alan,
Some of these are not hearings. Is there a complaint or not?
is there a complaint or not, or what to do with the motion to dismiss?
So if we have some that don't require a hearing, would we take all those cases and put them on one day and meet here and do one after the other?
You can, but I would recommend mixing up the panels or I would, maybe do some in the morning, some in the afternoon.
Well, that's
So-
why I was trying to separate things between like the 13th and the 30th. We could have one panel come in on the 30th and deal with a few
I'm not-
matters and another on the 13th.
Yep.
I'm not in Vermont on the 30th, so I'm
Okay.
not available I could do remotely, but I can't be in person.
Remote isn't terrible.
Yeah, remote's always an option. But yeah, let's use the 30th and the 13th and divvy up the cases if you want to do it that way. And maybe,
Well, I'd just like to get them moved on and,
oh, absolutely. Yep.
Could we do them twice? How many cases are we talking? The 30th isn't very convenient. I
So,
hate to say that.
Roger's not on the 30th. Excuse me, Alan's not on the 30th. So Alan's not doing the 30th,
It's not very convenient.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I could do the
13th.
next.
13th.
Even though you have something on here on this calendar?
It's Alan's replacement.
No, for the 13th, February 13th.
Yeah, what's on here, what we need to do before the 13th is to determine whether you need a hearing on the.
So you need that one on the 30th.
Correct.
Okay, so
And I-
that's
Correct.
priority. Okay.
Yeah.
I had February 6th. Telling that got dismissed.
That's
settled.
dismissed. We could use the 6th. I mean,
I had that saved.
Okay,
so you're available on the 6th?
I'm available on February 6th.
So do you want to have it January 30th and February 6th divided up? So is everybody available both days? And maybe, or just let me know which day you prefer, and I'll assign you.
The 30th, I just have to be
remote.
remote, or I'd have to be out of here by 3:30.
Right.
Okay.
If it was the 30th,
I'm not,
you know, I'm thinking we discard the 30th. We
Yeah.
go with the 6th or the 13th.
Based on Alan's availability, we should take off the 30th.
put on the sixth,
And
and
put-
I can do the 6th and the 13th.
Okay,
I mean,
We're cutting it close for the matter on the 13th. So
oh,
I need at least one panel the panel that I signed to 2409, which is, Bob, Karen, Roger, to meet, before the, either on the 30th or between now, like when
okay,
can you
if
meet?
Karen can do it.
Yep.
Then let's do that.
Okay, so let's see if we can do it and it could be remote, because,
Yeah.
Okay, what date did you?
So on the 30th. Are you available the 30th?
Well, I have an appointment, but I'll just, if we have a scheduled meeting, I'll just cancel it.
Oh, okay.
or we can meet at a time that's not during your appointment, in the morning or the afternoon. If
So
that,
much an appointment.
I'm sorry, and it might be an all-day thing, I'm sorry, that was presumptuous of me. Yeah, so and again, it's just Bob, Karen, Roger. I think Bob and you assigned them when we chatted a couple of weeks ago. So, and to determine whether you need a hearing, it's just look over the documents and say,
Right.
and do you have any questions? We might even be able to do this by email. You might be able to do this by email. I don't have any questions, so we don't need a hearing. I mean, and if you.
Right, so what it is the parties are presenting their cases on paper to us. The question then comes as to whether or not we have major questions that the papers don't answer based on the case. If we don't have questions that they don't answer, then we don't need a hearing.
Right, it just has to be a panel decision.
It just has to be a decision that we look at it and say, okay, we're comfortable making a decision based on what we have.
Are you hooked up to our printer from here?
Does that make sense to you?
Oh, yeah,
Okay,
so getting back to the 30th, I think my appointment's in the morning.
okay. So we could do the afternoon if your appointment is done or whatever. I don't think it's an all day kind of thing, Roger. I think it's,
What I think.
so Roger's is thinking that his appointment's in the morning, but he's checking his,
Okay,
This
his
is next week
digital,
we're talking about.
yes.
his digital,
Got it. So we'll make sure if you don't, before you go, we'll print out Roger, the materials for 2409. So that, you can look it over.
I already have it. You've already
Oh.
sent it.
Okay, I did send it electronically. If you need, do you want a hard copy? No.
No, I think I have a hard copy as well.
Oh, I did send it to you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Look at me.
2409 is,
It is a ULP. It's the, Union versus Town of Richmond, NEPBA.
okay,
Yeah, versus Town of Richmond. So really, if you can let me know by email and copy Karen and Bob, I don't have any questions. I
I see.
think we can decide this
Right.
on the briefs. That's all we need.
Right.
And if you have questions,
I can do it right now. I mean, I've read the material.
okay, don't tell us, because we're,
I don't want to be influenced.
I know exactly. And it's part of deliberation. So I don't think we need to formally meet on the 30th, Roger. So how about between now or even after we're done, you can let us know we need it, we don't need it. And then the actual deliberation on what to do with the case can be held on either the 6th or the 13th. Does that make sense? Okay. And I'll just, maybe Bob, afterwards, you and I can, or maybe we can, after we're done with the meeting, divvy up these 6 to 9 matters.
Yeah.
And so we'll have, half on the 6th
I'm
and half
not,
on the 13th.
I'm confused about what you want me to do.
We're gonna deal with that in a few minutes
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
after we adjourn, and then we'll
Yeah.
just divvy up the work.
Yeah.
My preference would be if you want me to come one day, and if you have to have different, one panel in the morning and one in the afternoon, I'll stay all day. My preference would be to come one day if it's these.
Yeah.
Do we issue a complaint or do we, whatever, if there's something that can get the material to me in advance.
Yep.
Then I can come one day and
And do you have a preference of those 2 days, the 6th or the 13th?
I prefer the 6th if
Okay.
that works for you.
It will work for us. We're trying to accommodate you.
So you've got the long-range forecast for that day?
Won't be a lot of
No
powder,
snow.
no snow that day. It'll be 20 below, so.
As long as it, comes north of Route 4 would be good for me.
That's okay.
So going, is there anything, I'm just looking at my cheat sheet on to, what needs to, Melinda, do you have I had asked you to have a list of cases that needed to be.
I do not
Okay.
have that.
All right, so there is one matter, I'll correct myself, that I think they'd indicated they could maybe schedule something after March. Let me just find that quickly. I think it was a grievance. So we do have March 13th. Just give me a moment. Nope. I'm not finding which one that is.
March 13th.
Yeah,
Um,
no. The actual matter that said that they were looking for, a hearing in March.
We have panels set up for March, right?
Right. We have one set up for
Okay,
the 13th and one for the 20th.
Mhm. Let's make sure this one.
March 14th and March 20th.
This is still you.
Yeah,
right?
so Pellerin,
I'm gonna put.
2424, the parties are requesting a hearing date after March 15th.
Okay, well, we have March 20.
So we can,
What's the panel on March 20?
24, 26, grievance of walls.
yeah, we have something. So,
Oh, we already have something on that date?
yeah, we do.
Okay,
Yeah.
But we have an open one
On
the
April 3rd.
April 3rd, which is
Yeah.
pretty close.
okay. That
So,
sounds like a great one for a panel with Michelle on it.
okay.
I'm scheduled for it.
So let's put,
Yeah, because that's
Pellerin.
my daughter's birthday, I
Oh.
know.
Better not forget.
okay, so we're gonna put, Pellerin there. Okay, we've got one. Yay.
What was that number? 22?
2424. So that'll be David, Karen, and Michelle.
And
Does that work for you? Well, you have it, okay.
just to
yeah.
be clear, Karen is commit.
I have no idea.
Okay,
So
it's just that issue of having a neutral.
I know it's, I agree.
And
Yeah,
and Alan's life. I'll be
no,
Alan's advocate for a minute.
yeah, if Karen can't do it, we'll have to reschedule it.
Well,
Yeah.
Which one?
Is Alan available on the third?
What are you talking about now?
April
Well,
3rd.
Just because, as far out as April, Karen is still on the schedule and the necessity that there be a neutral.
I'll put it in my calendar.
It'll be spring skiing by then.
I'll stop being your advocate because I got what I was looking for.
Okay.
Okay?
I don't know, let me just look quickly if there's another one, that has one, that we can schedule it. Yeah, the others, I mean, we have 24, Philbit and Tetro. So Melinda, you don't have notes on when they requested to have a hearing?
I did not prepare for this meeting, no.
Okay.
I can go grab my
No.
hearing folder.
I'll, yeah, that'd be great.
Okay.
Yeah, why don't you do that?
Yeah.
If Karen's heard a hearing, but you haven't deliberated yet, does she come back? Does she?
Yes,
You are, yes, you're always,
Yeah.
come back and finish the work you started.
Well, I don't know what her status is.
No, I don't know either, so.
Available.
Just in the interim while Melinda's gone, it occurs to me that as it is, we've scheduled to June 5th. A month after June 5th is 4th of July week, whatever that week is, that
Mhm.
usually means not much happens in the world of work. And then Alra is the 19th of July, effectively to the end of July. So as what's my question is, what is the future we're looking at in terms of?
Yeah, I was thinking that, we might have, I don't know about June 12 or June 26. I was almost thinking that we pick out dates, but we not necessarily assign a panel to that date right at the moment, but give Judith, here are dates we'd like you to schedule cases on, and then we'll pick out the panels when we get the recruitment done.
What if that doesn't happen?
What do you mean?
I'm just,
What if the governor doesn't appoint?
yeah,
Oh,
We're just not gonna have hearings, period.
okay. So, all right, so,
Can I just get
sure.
with respect to Karen,
Mhm.
and I heard that she resigned. Is she doing what Alan's doing? Is she going to be available until, or is she?
She says she is, but she's sick today, so we don't.
Okay, she's sick today. All right.
Yeah, she's available to take some of these.
Yeah.
I'll leave
So
you.
anyway, we'll leave that one.
Yeah, so, 2438, which is Philbit, they wanted a hearing after May 29th. I haven't looked in the minutia of their unavailability days. But are they available? They're not available June 5th. So, they're not available June 5th. So we need to
What
go
about June
beyond.
26th?
They are available June 26th isn't one of their no days. So we want to make June 26th.
And let's. So anyway, June 26th.
So will be Philbit, which is docket number 2438. Okay, the next matter, let's look. Is Tetro,
Isn't that a motion to dismiss month?
correct, that's a motion to dismiss, thank you. Yeah, sorry. So the next one. Next is, unit clarification, which is 2436. A date needs to be selected
And that is,
after June 25th.
and the parties,
Burlington Police Officers Association and Fraternal Order of Police and City of Burlington. So they need a 2-day hearing after June 25th. I don't have their scheduling
so the only,
calendar, Melinda. I don't know if you have that.
the only possibilities I see. I don't know about July 10 and 11, or July 31 and August 1st. I'm thinking 10 and 11, you're probably gonna run into some vacations centered around July 4.
I think you should move it probably the first week of August, August 7th and 8th. Just with Oliver too.
Yeah. Do we have folks for August 7th and 8th? Looking at our
I'm available.
labor management
Yeah.
side, because we don't want to commit to a neutral.
Yeah,
because we
probably.
don't want to extend Alan's grace. So do we
I'm
have,
available those days, and
I have no conflict.
you have no conflict. So when we ended on June 5th, who was on the June 5th one?
I am.
Bob, Alan's replacement, and Roger?
Okay. And so the next one after was the 26th.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so that probably should be Michelle, David.
Let me be clear. Is this June 26th or is it?
June 26th.
Okay, okay, so Michelle, David. Okay,
At Karen's replacement.
sure. Okay, and then August 7th and 8th?
I can do the 26th. June.
Okay.
Okay. Threw me for a loop. I'd say Michelle again,
Okay,
if she's willing.
I am, as long as David's willing.
What do you like on the
Yeah,
7th and 8th of August?
August, yeah.
I'm available. Yeah.
Okay. Michelle, David, and Roger.
It can't be Roger and me, right?
Oh, that's right. As I always think of you two as neutral.
Oh, that's a good, we're doing all right then.
Okay, so then that would be Alan's replacement probably, right?
okay,
Because that's the next one after the 26th.
okay. All right, so we've got this one, we've got that one,
Okay, but did you decide between myself and David for the 28th?
Well, it has to be David because I'm not on it.
well,
Oh,
we don't
okay.
have the 28th, it's,
Oh, 28th,
7th and 8th.
7th, and yeah, it has to be David.
it's David.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So the next one, God. Motion dismiss. Um. Yeah, thank you. Double checking. So those are ones other than the motions to dismiss,
Okay.
and
And when's
the
our,
unfair labor practice.
next board meeting? Is that in April?
April 10th.
April 10th. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's hold off any other scheduling till April 10th.
February 6th is what takes.
We're
Well,
gonna
we-
talk
we're
about
gonna-
that
oh, we
after.
have
Yeah.
to-
After we get done,
Yeah.
then we'll assign the cases.
See what happens when you get to the age of 80, you start losing some of your cognition.
That happens to some people earlier than that.
Okay, so, if we want to,
That basically everything that you had up for the agenda, okay.
Motion to adjourn. So moved.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor, I don't know if we have to have a vote on that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we're adjourned. Thank you.
great, thank you.